Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Raldesy. Check it out. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Jude from Raldesy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you, dude?
I'm doing really good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, thanks, man. So I got an email from you. You are actually friends with Phoenix, I think, and in a
I
band
am.
with him, right?
Yes, we are in a band.
Very cool.
He plays drums for this project sometimes as well.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Very cool. So yeah, you got in touch and I was checking out the music and it was like, wow, this is really interesting stuff. And so I was like, yeah, let's talk and explore your music. So uh, for somebody that was listening, when I'm listening to it, I'm hearing like kind of a lo-fi, folky, almost like Violent Femmes kind of thing with
Hmm.
especially like um, there's a tune off that you got like the demo from September actually, so it just came out.
Yep.
Um, it's called I think it was like Pot or Pool Pot. Trying to remember the name. It's the last song on that demo.
Might that one, I think that one's like 4 minutes long. That was
Yeah.
gonna be on, yeah, that one's fun. That one was gonna be on the new album that I've been working on for the last few months.
Okay.
But I decided I didn't have the space for it and I'd rather put something else. So I just threw that on a demo tape.
All right, cool. Excellent. So, how would you describe your music to somebody that was like new, brand new listener and came across you? How would you describe it to them?
I'd say I make like indie folk music, like pretty much like you said, like indie folk, lo-fi, like Violent Femmes, Neutral Milk Hotel, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
I feel
Very
like those
cool.
are my sort of biggest groups of inspiration. I do make a lot of like folk punk stuff, but I don't really release that stuff too much.
All right, cool. So, what inspired you to want to get into music? How did you start?
So I've grown up in a very musical environment. I grew up going to a lot of Dead shows, Dead and Company shows,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I've always been interested in music since I was really young. But I think a year and a half ago at this point, maybe a little more, I took a guitar class, and that was actually where I'm at Phoenix. And
Oh,
I got into guitar a ton, and then I started listening to a bunch more music to get more inspiration, and it just sort of spiraled. And I just music's like all I do now.
that's awesome. So, uh, for the project that you're working on, so these demos,
Mm.
how do they relate to the music that you're planning to make in a larger project? Are they just like scratch ideas that you want to then take and fold into a full album? What's the plan for that?
So some of the songs I do eventually plan to use, but some of them are sort of just throwaway ones that I feel like I'll never really put to a point where I want to put them on a big project and they're not good enough for it, but they are just like okay songs that I'll throw out in a demo tape. But there are a couple songs here and there that I do plan on using in the future. I've with my next album, I'm hoping to have drums and such, all that and everything. Maybe some electric guitar on parts,
Nice.
but still keep it very like lo-fi production and stuff. And then I'm learning violin. I want to do that stuff, and then I want to have trumpet players if I can, and other like things like that. So
Nice. Very cool.
a lot
So
more lush production.
yeah, yeah. Well, there's I mean, even that one tune that you called the throwaway song, that's the longer four
Mm.
minute song on there. That has some
Yep.
really cool like ambient effects on there. There's some background, besides just you and the guitar, there's some other things, which I think is, sounds cool. So, what is it about those the music you're making that um I guess what do you hope people take away from your music when they're listening? What do you want them to feel?
Well, I've always thought of music as the same kind of way. Do you know when you go to a place, that place has a very specific vibe, you
Yeah.
know? Like your room has a different vibe from like your grandparents' house or something like that. They have their own very independent vibes.
Yeah.
Well, I try to make one of those vibes. I think of music as like when you're listening to it, it takes you to a place,
Right.
and that place has a very specific vibe that the artist is trying to portray. I'm trying to take it to this very like almost like lush, uh, I'm trying to, it's hard to explain, but I'm trying to take them to a specific place,
Yeah.
my state of mind that I'm in when I'm writing the things.
So when you're,
And
oh, go
with,
ahead.
oh, sorry,
Yeah.
but
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
thanks. Whenever I write a song, I use it as like a diary sort of.
Uh-huh.
I'm very lyrical focused because I've never really liked journaling or that very much, but music's sort of a creative outlet for that. And all my songs, I use almost like poetry, and write that, and I try and convey a story while also having this like otherworldly place vibe as an overarching thing.
Very cool. So that really spins into the next question, which is like for your songwriting, when you're writing songs, are you treating it, are you taking it from a lyrical standpoint, a particular emotion or idea that you want to convey, and then crafting music around those lyrics, or do you come up with like a musical concept that you want to use as a base and build a song with the lyrics and everything else after that?
Sometimes I'll build the musical concept first if I'm just playing and I have a really good idea. But
Yeah,
most of the time, I try and build the music along with the lyrics so they both convey the same idea, right? Like if it's a sad song, I want music that's not just, oh, this is in a minor key. I want to convey the specific emotion I'm going for because I feel like music in some ways can really convey ideas that words can't
yeah.
since language is so like simple, honestly, and it doesn't convey these super wide emotions. So if I'm trying to convey emotion, usually I'll think of the emotion or the idea that I'm trying to convey, then I'll write the music and the lyrics around that.
Awesome. Excellent. So what's some of the music that you're working on now? What do you feel is the most powerful? What kind of vibe are you going for? Is it chilled and laid
So
back, or is it more emotional?
so the album I'm working on right now is called Church Songs, and it's generally about my experience with death as a whole. That's the entire theme of the album. And it's some songs aren't necessarily viewing death in this super sad and depressing view, but sort of as a moving on kind of view. But it is, of course, a decently sad album just because of the nature of that sort of thing. But
Yeah,
I'm trying to convey different ideas that relate to my life and death, like people I've lost, or just the general idea of me getting over the fear of death as a whole, using a religion as a way to get over fear of death, as sort of having this place you can go to and knowing that you're safe and different like contrasting ideas with all that.
very cool. And are you working on that in a solo context?
Sorry, my little sister. Hey Millie, I'm I'm on the phone. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, just make sure not to step on it, okay? I love you. All right, go. Shut my door. It's my little sister Luna. She's great.
Excellent. Fantastic. What does she think of your music?
Well, she's come back. You like my music, Luna? Oh, all right. I love you. Can you please go away for now? I'll play with you afterwards, okay? Shut the door. What? Someone from a YouTube channel, please go. I love you. Shut my door. I'll play with you afterwards. Okay. That's my sister. She loves
Excellent.
music. She actually she sings and stuff all the time, and she knows the words to a couple of my songs just from
Oh,
me playing
cool.
them and stuff. She likes my music. I've got two sisters, and they both say they like my music.
Nice. Are they both younger?
One of my sisters is 13 and she's 5 years old.
Okay. Nice. Very cool. So, you know, when you're writing your music, what's the medium that you're using to record? Are you doing it yourself? Are you working with a studio? How is that working?
So I used to want to do studio recording, but I realized it was just very expensive and you had to pay to the point where you had to pay so much.
Yeah.
Like there were cheaper studios, right? There were
Right.
like $20 an hour ones from people I knew, very cheap. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I can just have that same gear and do it at home the
Yeah.
same and not have to pay any money for it. And if I'm going to a studio that does have crazy better gear, I don't have the money for $100 an hour studios, you know?
Right. Right.
I don't have the stuff to put into that. So I'm very much pro home recording. I think it is just way better, and you also get more control over little aspects and stuff. But I do want to do some stuff in studio because it just has overall much better quality with when recording certain things. Like
Right.
if you're trying to track vocals and guitar at the same time and not do overdubs, it's a lot easier to do it in studio. So I'm more like the main recording, definitely try and do that at a studio, but for everything layered on top, and if you want to overdub like basic stuff, you don't really need to use the studio for all of that. You can do that at home relatively easily. And if it's a more simple song, you definitely don't need to go into the studio for that.
Nice. So have you been, doing your own recordings for a while? And what was that learning curve like for you?
So I actually learned most of what I know about home recording from my digital art teacher.
Oh,
They've
cool.
been doing music for like 20 years, and they taught me how to use my DAW, and they taught me basic home recording stuff. So that definitely helped a lot. But at first, it was really confusing, and I just couldn't figure it out, mainly the DAW. But after a while, I learned a bunch of methods. I got really into, I've been listening to a lot of like home recording, like folk punk type stuff, and
Uh-huh.
like very like lo-fi stuff, like some of Neutral Milk Hotel's early recordings. I'm a huge Neutral Milk Hotel fan. But
Excellent.
uh and just the methods they used. Like, do you know Phil Elverum from the Glow Part 2?
No, I'm not familiar.
So he uses a distortion method where he takes acoustic guitar and he basically runs it through tape over and over again to the point where it's extremely distorted, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he gets this super fuzzy, distorted acoustic tone. And I've been spending forever trying to replicate it or get my own sort of thing. And it really inspired me to try and think outside of just clean guitar and pedals, where you can do so much more with just the recording and not even with like plugins or with
Yeah,
like stuff you add. Just you can make the recording itself so much different from just basic audio.
yeah.
And it that really got me interested.
That reminds me of like really early in the 50s, and I was listening to this program. It's really good if you're interested. It's called A History of Rock and Roll in 500 Songs. It's a
Hmm.
podcast from this guy in England who basically starts in 1938 talking about rock and roll music, coming out of like swing and all the way to, well, he's still in the process, so it's probably in the early 70s, late 60s right now. But anyway, when he was talking about the 50s, that reminded me when you were talking about that tape uh, recording of an acoustic guitar. That was like actually one of the very first distortions ever. Like because
Yeah.
somebody like did this thing and they were like, "How did this guy get his guitar to sound that way?" And it turns out it was the recording method. Just like doing something crazy with this acoustic guitar and the recording technology. It's like holy
Yeah,
cow.
there's so much you can get from just the recording technology alone and no other effects.
Yeah.
It's great. I use I use this one method for distortion on a song I'm working on where I took these headphones and this mic and I put it inside of the guitar and it made like this crazy distorted tone. But I just I don't know. I love all the alternative ways of recording and stuff. And I'm also really into like weird use of like instruments and stuff. Like I have a homemade drum kit right here made out of like kid's drum and like occasion with a kick and like a DS1 holding down a tambourine as a hi-hat type thing.
Nice.
But I love just like homemade instruments and like sort of homemade ways of like using things and like using a vast array of instruments. I don't really want to just stick to only guitar and vocals at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely gives you then this greater palette of sounds, right? And being able to craft them yourself, or at least to like take a, kind of a Frankenstein approach in creating these instruments, you get
Yeah.
to like, yeah, create this huge palette that is completely your own, right? It's totally unique.
Yeah, yeah.
That is so cool.
It it goes into the other thing I said earlier about how music can convey such specific emotions that can't really be conveyed by words. Well, if you go even more instruments and then you have even more control on how the instruments sound, that lets you convey even more specific ideas and get even more in depth into that idea of like the vibe you're trying to create.
Yeah, yeah, very awesome. So have you done any shows? Have you taken your music
Yeah,
to the public?
I played at the Ferndale DIY festival that was a couple weeks ago, I believe,
Yep.
and I had about a 30-minute set there,
Nice.
and I played some music there. I also played. I opened for this one band that coming into town. I forgot what they were. They were some pop punk band, and I played guitar for a friend. Uh, and then I also played up north at a festival called Pond Jam, and it's like a hippie festival out in the woods.
Oh, cool.
And I played a few songs there, and that's about all I've done right now, besides just playing in random places and stuff.
Nice. So when you're performing, are you doing it solo? Or are you doing bringing in some other players to do your songs? How's that working?
Most of the stuff I do solo because the core of all my songs is guitar and singing. But
Yep.
when I can, I will get other people to play other stuff on top of that.
Nice.
Like
Nice.
Phoenix was drumming for me up north at the festival.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. So, what's your what do you think is the best way to listen to music? What's your preferred method of listening? Do you like to be in a car? Do you like to be at home? Be outside, indoors? What?
I find the most enjoyment I get out of music is when I am riding my longboard and listening to music. That's always when I get the most enjoyment.
Excellent. So, we sort of touched on how you got into music, but what were some of your early influences, and how has that changed over time?
Well, some of my very early influences on guitar were definitely the Grateful Dead got me into more like folky kind of stuff, and other
Yeah.
smaller artists. Some other very early stuff. I really liked Radiohead when I was younger, and like I also was big into Weezer, but I was didn't really like the Blue album or any of the other stuff. I was into Pinkerton. That was the one I really liked.
Excellent.
But as the first artist that really made me like change my way of thinking about guitar was the Mountain Goats. I listened to their album All Hail West Texas. That's a home recorded album. They recorded that on I think it was a boombox, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
one guy with a guitar recorded on a boombox, and it's just such amazing songs. And he uses lyrics and guitar in such a way that it's just great. And then I listened Neutral Milk Hotel. Like I said, I'm a huge fan.
Huge
And
fan.
their production and the lyric writing on Airplane Over the Sea, just great stuff. I am also a big fan of what's their name? Oh, Pat the Bunny. He
Oh.
is folk. He was originally known as Johnny Hobo, but he's a folk punk, like yelling like guitar, harmonica, and his music is just so raw, and that's more home recorded music that's just really, really good.
Yeah, that's
And all
cool.
these just got me into like writing in general, pretty much.
Okay. And so when before you started taking guitar, were you writing these songs without like the benefit of knowing, an instrument, or did that evolve like as you got comfortable with playing guitar, and then you're like, okay, now I can put my songs together.
So the first instrument I actually played was piano. I've played that for 3 years.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
cool.
yeah, I love piano. I've actually written a lot of my songs on piano, then moved them to guitar.
Okay.
But the thing is, piano always seemed like such a difficult tool to just write the basics of a song with. I don't know, but beforehand, I didn't really write too much of my own music until I got into guitar, because guitar just let me sing and play mindlessly. It's just so natural and easy to me.
That's cool. So, were you like, because I have never been able to play guitar and sing, did that come naturally to you? Just like you could play guitar and you're like, all right, I can carry a tune over that too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've never understood why people have had issues with
I,
playing
I,
guitar
I
or playing
struggle at it.
drums or playing drums and singing. That's
Yeah.
honestly the hardest, but I can still do it with a basic beat, playing the drums and singing. But honestly, the one thing I really struggle with like is playing bass and singing, just because it's such
Really?
a low frequency. It doesn't like you can't harmonize with it almost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Because of the low frequency might be like
yeah,
out
yeah.
of your
You
range. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can't like exactly harmonize with it. And if there's something you can exactly harmonize with, it makes things a lot easier. But yeah, guitar and singing just came really naturally to me, I guess.
That's cool. Awesome.
Well, piano and singing didn't come super naturally, so I didn't get into writing too much.
So, you mentioned that you came from a musical household. Was it, did your parents or anybody else in your family play instruments?
So they haven't. I grew up around a lot of people who played instruments. I grew up like a hippie with a bunch of like I have family that aren't actually related to me and stuff that like
Yeah.
I grew up around that played on music. But in my household, my mom's played harmonica, but other than that, not really much actual musicians in the house.
Oh, crazy. And when you started to learn guitar, um, what was that like? What was that process like for you? Did it, and I ask this because I just remember when I was learning I went in fits and starts. I started to like learn it and then got frustrated and stopped, went back to it. Did you just like pick it up and just keep going, or was it fits and starts and you're like, oh, my hands, I don't know what they're doing?
Since the day I picked it up, I'm pretty sure I've played for at least like 4 hours a day. It just became addicting. I honestly, I when I first started playing guitar, the thing that really kept me going was songwriting. Learning other songs always seemed kind of boring to me. I'd learn some eventually if I really liked them, but I
Right.
felt like writing was just so much fun. It was just this like I stopped playing video games because I just started playing guitar. I don't even play video games anymore just because I play
Really?
guitar. Yeah, it just became this thing, and messing up and like finger calluses and stuff, they
Yeah,
always just were so outweighed by the joy of just playing
that's
guitar and writing.
that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, have always struggled with playing um like other songs, learning other tunes. Like I can play my own stuff, but obviously I wrote it. But trying to figure out other stuff, just sometimes I can figure it out, but it doesn't stick into my head. Like somebody go, oh hey, can you play this song? And I know I've played it, but to play it from my memory, nothing. But then if I hear it, boom, I can do that. Is that sort of the same thing for you or different?
Yeah, I kind of get that. For songs that I haven't, like certain songs, I can play pretty easily after learning the chords just because I've listened to them so much, they're ingrained into my brain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But most of the time with songs, it's just so difficult because you weren't in like the exact same headspace as that person, so you don't have like the exact same rhythm down it doesn't come as natural to you, and it is a lot more difficult. But like if I hear the song, I can be like, oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So if you could, you know, take Raldesy anywhere in the world, where would you like to play, and who would you like to be on the bill with you?
If I could go anywhere in the world, I would want to play. Oof. I think I'd want to play in New York because I've got a lot of friends and stuff in New York, and it's just a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I'd want to play in New York, and I'd want to be playing with the Microphones, Neutral Milk Hotel, and Have a Nice Life. Those are the
Nice.
three people I'd probably want to play with.
Excellent. Fantastic. And if you could go overseas, what would be the first stopping point? Where would you like to go?
No, Spain. I love Spain. I'm getting my Spanish citizenship, and I've got a lot of family in Spain, so
Really?
definitely Spain. Yep.
Oh, awesome. That's very cool. Are you bilingual? I'm assuming.
No, I'm not bilingual. I wish. My stepdad is Spanish, so that's
Oh,
where all the family comes from, and my sister, half Spanish and stuff.
uh,
So just married like step family, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. Cool.
But
That's very
they're my
cool.
family.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. Um, so have you ever met any of your musical idols? And if you have, what was that like for you?
I have. I've met Billy Strings.
Really?
He, yeah, yeah. My uncle is very good friends with Billy Strings' father. In fact, Billy Strings' father played at his wedding.
Oh, really? Wow.
I was going to go to the wedding. I was super excited, but then I got horribly sick.
Oh
It sucked.
man, that's a
But
bummer.
yeah, I met Billy Strings when I was a lot younger, and that was before I really got into guitar, which sucks. I would have loved to talk to him about guitar,
Yeah, hell
but
yeah.
I just didn't really know him then. But I have met Billy Strings, and other than that, not really.
Yeah. And if you could talk to anybody, any of your musical influences, either people that are around now or have passed on, who would you like to talk to and what would you want to talk to them about?
Passed on. Ooh, I would actually
Or they could be living too. I mean, it could be
living.
somebody. Yeah.
I know. Me think that's hard because uh, it'd either be Jerry Garcia, Elliott Smith, or Phil Elverum.
Ah, cool. Excellent. What would you like to talk to those guys about?
Uh, I'd want to just talk about their mindset for how they write songs. I want to talk to them about like what they go into writing a song, like what they think about that.
Nice. Very cool. Do you imagine, you know, I often wonder like about like Jerry Garcia in terms of like because he was like a huge like bluegrass player and
Yes,
super
yes.
skilled like guitarist that I didn't even realize until I'd like like read more about him. Um,
Oh no, yeah, he's great.
yeah. So, what would you want to know like specifically about the way that he approaches music?
Well, for Jerry Garcia specifically, I would want to ask how he approaches like how he approaches using guitar. Like I feel like some guitar players will think of guitar in a very different sense. Like Dave Grohl famously said that he thinks of guitar like a drum kit, sort of with his rhythm.
Uh,
I feel like Jerry Garcia has a very specific, like a very almost jazzy
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ask like what he thinks of for like a rhythm of guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd be curious, like, as far as whether he's thinking, because I'm always curious about this in with a lot of musicians, is are they thinking about when they're writing their music, the various like technical, you know, theory aspects, oh, I want to do this
Yeah, yeah.
minor third, oh, this is this. Are they thinking that way, or is it just evolving because they just like the way it sounds, you know? Because
Yeah, yeah. Is it
that's
there
totally
is
interesting to me. It's like, what are you thinking about? Do you just, realize because you've studied music, certain things are going to work and certain things aren't, and you just naturally gravitate that, or you're trying to structure it like almost like a, classical composition where you're trying to put things together in a structured way.
yeah, yeah. There is definitely a thing where I've met people, other guitarists who sort of just flow. They don't even remember half their songs unless they really try, but like they can play on top of stuff and they know the scales and everything. And I've met guitarists who think of like specific chords they want to do and stuff on top of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Very different ways of thinking. And it's interesting. It can like change the whole vibe of a song, whether it's a flowy or very specific thing.
Yeah. So when you're working on new music, are you constantly recording those ideas? Because when you mentioned that, sometimes you play things, I've done that where you play something, it sounds cool, and then you didn't record it, so you don't even know how to play it again. It's like gone. It's like it appeared and then left.
Oh yeah, I've got ADHD, so I think I have almost 500 demos now
Oh,
of
wow.
just different random recordings, whether it's like random vocal. I'll go through my like band lab or something,
Yeah.
and I'll just play on a random one. It'll just be like a random vocal like harmony I came up with, or just like a 3 second long guitar lick or something.
Yeah.
But I have like a ton of just random demos uh, that I have.
Have you been able to cultivate those into new tunes or into existing tunes for your
Yeah, yeah.
current
The
project?
track off. I have reused a lot of old songs for my current project and reworked them, but the one that I worked on for a long time, the track on my sort of EP Polka Dot, that
Uh-huh.
one,
Yep.
uh, the third track, Brother Part One, that is sort of two songs stitched together that I've worked on over the span of I think like 8 months. One of
Uh,
those was written like a long time, and then one of them was written more recently. That album took me like 8 months to write and 3 months to record because I was doing home recording and stuff.
wow.
And in the meantime, I was also writing other stuff and everything. So this next album is definitely the thing that's like the amalgamation of all that sort of stuff.
Cool. So what's your target plan for getting that completed and out into the world?
So my target plan is I want to have some basic stuff recorded in studio, such as just guitar and vocal things. And then after that, I want to home record most of it. And I want to get like all the layered stuff on top, like violin and drums and harmonica and stuff like that. And then I want to get help from two of my friends for producing it.
Oh, cool.
And after that, I just want to work it together and get all that stuff finished. And I have a very specific idea for like the vibe I want to do. I want some parts of the album to feel like one big song where they're flowing together, you know,
Yeah.
and other parts just sort of their own thing. But yeah, I have a very specific vibe of what I want to go for. I have like demos for all the different parts recorded and stuff like that in the track list.
Nice. So do you have a time frame you're thinking of? Or is it just
I'm thinking
next
it'll be
year?
about like uh hopefully sometime next year. I might drag it out to 2027 though if I need to, because
Yeah.
I want to make this as perfect as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully next year, and then I'm thinking the album will be like almost an hour long.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. And are you gonna just have it on stream, like Bandcamp, or are you thinking of doing physical media?
I might I'll probably make some CDs just to give out to my friends because I have friends who listen to my music and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of friends like I might put it on like I might put some stuff on Spotify because I have friends or stuff like that because I
Yeah.
have friends far up north that I couldn't give a CD to and that don't really use phones too much and stuff, but
Right.
they have like Spotify stuff and everything.
Oh,
And it'd be cool to be able to have them listen to my music and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's cool that there's different ways for, people around the world to be able to get to the music. It's just, Spotify, sometimes I wish it was like a little better.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Spotify specifically
yeah.
sucks, but
Yeah.
I meant in general
Right.
more open streaming platforms.
Streamings. Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, Spotify as a whole really sucks. The
It
whole
does.
music, how music has been commodified really sucks. I hate that. The one thing I've never wanted to do and that I will never do to get popular is the stupid like stuff on Instagram
Yeah.
where they do like the guess the drummer or something like that. You know, that stuff
Right.
always just pisses me off and it does not make me want to listen to your music. There's artists that are only popular because they know how to make content and
Yeah.
not because they know how to make music. And that's just the whole music industry. They're still good artists
Oh, for
making
sure.
good music without doing that. I've found a bunch of artists recently from like the last 5 years that are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
And
there's definitely gimmicks in some things, especially using,
yes, yes, yes.
content creation to and, sort of vague posting out there so that you somehow
Yeah.
create some kind of buzz for it. I don't know. It's
Content creation has been both a blessing and a curse because one, it gives more freedom to people to get their stuff out there and make it popular. It gives a way for you to advertise without having to be part of a major label because major labels had all the power of advertising. But at the same time, because of that, you have to be so pandering and so like
yeah.
you lose all of your integrity to get that popularity.
Yeah.
But it does give people more freedom. Like there are examples of people who are good artists and don't lose their integrity, but wouldn't be popular without the internet. Like one of my favorite artists, Alex G, he got popular off of stuff off the internet, but he wasn't doing those like stupid TikTok videos or anything. He was just
Right.
his music genuinely got popular through the internet just for the music,
Right.
and it's great. There's a ton of other artists that purely got popular because of the internet. Even artists who were making music before the internet and then their music resurfaced and became popular because of the internet. There's countless examples of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind
It's
of
both a
crazy.
blessing and a curse for the whole deal.
It is. It is. So, one of the things I like to ask is like, we've talked about some of the origin stories, but what was the very first show that you went to? What the first concert?
Oh, first concert, I think I was 4 years old.
Four?
Grateful Dead, Dead and Co.
Oh wow. You
Dead and Co with my mom. It was actually a festival. We stayed there. You stay there for like I think 3 days, and you sleep and you camp out in the woods,
yeah.
and there's music until like midnight every night. And I've been going to those since I was like 4 years old, and I've got a pin on my hat from then.
Oh
This
cool.
one I got when I was 4 years old, the little Terrapin turtle, because my middle name's Terrapin.
That's
Ugh.
awesome. Do you actually still remember that? Do you remember that
Uh,
when you're I mean,
no, not
you
at all.
can't. Yeah,
That
I was
that
gonna say.
specific festival, but I do remember a lot of festivals from that period of time, and like in the following years and stuff. Because I think I've been to half the states in the union for festivals,
Wow.
and I'm pretty sure I've gone to like at least 100 in my life.
Holy cow. That's awesome. I mean, that's very cool that
Yeah.
one that you were able to like travel around the states. So you got that exposure plus, you know, checking out the music. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
have you gone recently, like since John Mayer's been playing with Dead and
Uh,
Company?
Not specifically Dead and Co. I haven't been able to see them because recently their shows have been incredibly expensive and they've
I
played less and
know.
less,
Yeah.
especially around my area. But I still have been going to great one, Dark Star Jubilee. They've got Dead and
Oh,
Co. Or
yep.
not Dead. They had like a Dead and Co. cover band
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But they've got Dark Star Orchestra, which is really great. And then just other general bluegrass and like psychedelic like rock. That one pawn jam that I played at, they had these great
Yeah.
bands. They had a jazz fusion band with an insane drummer that was really good. They had just regular folk artists. I still go to a lot of those general like festivals where you camp and you sleep there, and then there's like vendors and stuff. But
Yeah.
not many Dead and Co specific ones, just because of how expensive and rare those shows have gotten.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite of the festivals you've been to recently?
Yeah, Pond Jam. My mom had her wedding there and the venue.
Oh,
They know the
cool.
owners, and I've been going there since I was very young. And it's just generally a great place. It's a very small festival. I think it's only like 300 people, maybe less.
That's a good size.
And yeah, and it's a beautiful property, absolutely beautiful, way up north in Michigan.
Where's that
Not quite
at?
the UP, but I forget the exact location. I'd have to ask my
Is it
mom.
like
But
Charlevoix area up that way or Petoskey, Harbor Springs?
I think it's near Petoskey,
Okay. All right. Yeah, because that would be
somewhere near there.
almost to the UP.
Yeah,
I mean,
not quite the. I know it's not in the UP, but I believe it's like a 3.5 hour drive from where I am.
nice. I know that because I have some friends in like just west of Marquette that there's a festival up there supposed to be really good. The Porcupine Mountain Music Festival. Um,
I think I might have heard of it. My mom might have showed me something
yeah.
about that, but I don't think I've been there. I
Yeah.
might have if it's been going on for a long time because I've been to too many
Yeah.
festivals to count. But
It's been going on for a while, but it's supposed to be
I
really
might have
cool.
at one point in my life, but I don't specifically recall. One of my favorite festivals that doesn't exist anymore, Feral Fest, is a festival by a band. My my uncle was the singer, and it was just they had their own full festival. It was amazing, but the band broke up
Ah,
sadly,
that's too bad.
and the venue's not used for festivals anymore. So
Uh,
it was great though. They had a Guardians of the Gal or not Guardians of the Galaxy, no, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
oh,
themed
cool.
show,
Awesome.
and that was great.
Where was that at? Where did it used to happen? What was the venue?
I don't know. It was some random property. I think about an hour and a half up north, maybe more.
Okay.
It was just owned. It was owned by this nice family. I don't know though. I don't
Huh.
remember the exact location. It wasn't like some big festival ground. It was just
Yeah.
a family that happened to have a lot of property and knew the band.
That's cool. That's awesome. I think that's how some of these festivals that have been going on for a while started. You know, it's just somebody
Yep.
had some property and they're like, yeah, we'd love music. We'd love to have some show. And then, because I think Smiling Acres, um, Mark Lavengood, who's he used to play with, oh shoot, Lindsay Lou and the big, no. Yeah, Lindsay Lou. And then he's a slide guitar player. He's played with Billy Strings when he's come to town. But he
Very
but he
cool.
does something which is just over by what is that town? It's like toward the west side of Michigan. But his is called Smiling Acres, and that one's supposed to be really fun. But it again just started from somebody that had property, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey,
A
let's
lot of
do a
good ones
festival.
too.
Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome. So, you're working on the new album. You're hoping that'll be out maybe next year or a little longer. Um, what else are you working on? What are you planning for the year to come?
For the last I think it's been I've had an album in the works with a band of I think about like 4 people in and out. Um, that's the band that I'm in with, Phoenix,
Okay.
and we have had a lot of plans, and we've written like a lot of songs and scrapped a lot of songs. And I've been working on that one. It's not really in like a purgatory place, or like, oh, this is never getting released. It's just
Right.
we haven't gotten to a point where like we like it enough. We've recorded like I think 20 studio demos possibly,
Uh-huh.
but got that big project that I've been working on for a long time with Phoenix and a few other people. Uh, I'm pretty sure every member who's ever been in Iron Times has worked with that band as well in some capacity.
All
But
right.
uh, yeah, that big project that I've been working on, and I also just have friends around that I've been writing songs with here and there just for fun, pretty much, that we might release at some point. But
Nice.
just generally, I don't really. Uh, I just do music.
Yeah,
I love music and just I'm always up to do anything pretty much.
that's cool. That's awesome. Well, Jude, it's been great talking with you. Looking forward to when your project is complete. Uh, I have just one last question for you,
Of course,
and that is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
100% pineapple, man. Pineapple Hawaiian pizza is my favorite pizza. Period.
Really?
All right.
Favorite?
Yes,
Oh my God,
favorite.
that's
Period.
awesome.
It's all right. It's been an amazing time talking to you, dude. I love your channel and I love your videos.
Oh, thanks,
Uh,
man.
good luck with everything. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you, dude.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care.
Many thanks to Jude from Raldesy for joining me on this episode of Fans of Bands. I had a great time talking with Jude about making music, influences, and concerts. As you can guess, we also talked about bands we dig and pizza. Look for the first full-length Raldesy album coming up soon. See the show notes for all the details and links. Bands are nothing without you, the fans. Purchasing music and merchandise is critical to their survival. If you can help out your favorite bands, please do. If you're in Michigan, consider following the Playing in Detroit area tonight and SE for Southeast Michigan Music Facebook pages. They are fantastic places for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your family, telling your priest, tell everyone, and leave a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jam.